Alright, good morning guys. Just a quick update here regarding the potential major winter storm late Friday and Saturday. Overnight guidance continues to not even hint, it's continuing to tell us that a major winter storm is coming and will impact the area late Friday, more like Friday night into Saturday. Here's the GFS, and you can see the low pressure develops in the south. Got a nice high pressure building in the cold air over top of us. And as this low pressure approaches us, precipitation spreads throughout the area in the form of snow on the north side. And this continues to push into our area. Now, here's the difference between overnight GFS run versus yesterday's European run. They both have a low pressure system centered around South Carolina. But instead of taking this low pressure up the coast, more northerly track, the European yesterday took it more out to sea. That's a huge difference between a lot of snow and literally no snow at all. But overnight, this is what the GFS did. It hugs the coast, brings plenty of snow into our area, and it continues just to crawl. This is a 6-hour period here, and look at the low pressure right here. In 6 hours, it moves that little. This is going to be a slow crawler up the coast, which will help bring the significant amount of snow. And honestly, this overnight GFS run puts our area close to the sweet spot. Look at the time stamp here. This is hour 108. This is even into early Sunday morning. This has it lasting. And let's see when it starts here. It starts overnight. Looks like it starts around between 10 p.m. Friday night and 2 a.m. Saturday morning, according to the GFS. So we're talking about well over a 24-hour period of snowfall, if this model is correct. Now, when we look at the snowfall map, let's actually go into a zoomed in version here over the northeast. Alright, so here's the snowfall map, and this is based on a 10-to-1 ratio. And yeah, you can see it shows 26 inches over Harrisburg. That's a lot of snow, and is it overdone? Possibly. But it's also a possibility that does happen if the storm does stall like this is shown on the GFS. Am I buying into that right now? I think, no. I think it's a little overdone. If you guys saw my map last night, I had our area in at least the 6-inch snowfall range. Now, with the latest guidance that came in overnight, I'm a bit more hesitant to keep that snowfall map that far south. I might have to bring it up a bit north and put Harrisburg closer to the 12-inch mark rather than the 6-inch mark. That's at least where I stand this morning. But of course we still have afternoon's model runs, and then before I get to my second call, which will be released 7 p.m. this evening. But this is impressive. I mean, how long can this model be for it to only be 72, not even 72 hours out? This is getting to this is about like 66 hours out now. So, I expect, as long as the models hold later this afternoon, that the National Weather Service will issue winter storm watches by this evening. They're a bit conservative at first, but I'm sure overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning, you may even see some blizzard warnings out for especially areas to the south and east, DC, even Philly, possibly up to New York City. These areas are going to get extremely heavy winds along with the heavy snow. Our area, I'd still think we could see some blizzard conditions at times. Due to the fact that we were farther away from the low pressure, our winds won't be as impressive. However, it will still be possibly like a blizzard, honestly, at some points during the day on Saturday and overnight Friday night. Alright, so that's the GFS. Now we can look at the Canadian model here. Let's see here. Alright, well, there's a snowfall map. Didn't mean to spoil it for you guys. Let's see. Alright, here's the surface map. Let's take this back. Alright. So we advance this forward here. And again, the storm's developing in the south. And the low pressure, it forms a little bit further north than the GFS. Rather than off the South Carolina coast, it's hugging the North Carolina coast. But much like the GFS, instead of taking it out like the yesterday's European model did, it brings it up the coast. And just like the GFS, it stalls it out. These dark blues, that's incredible amounts of heavy snow. And look, it lands right over south central Pennsylvania. And again, it's over a 24-hour period of snow. That's where you get your big boy snowstorms. And then, of course, you already saw the snowfall map for a little bit, but I'll show you to you again. And this says 28 inches of snow near Harrisburg. If you notice between the GFS and Canadian model, there is a cutoff to the north. So we gotta watch that cutoff over the next 24 hours or so. It's definitely gonna wiggle back and forth. 50 miles either way is gonna make a huge difference. I mean, 50 miles here makes a difference between 6 inches and 28 inches. So, if from a snow lover perspective, I would feel much more confident of getting an epic snowstorm if I lived in northern Virginia. Those areas are looking at possibly up to 3 feet of snow. Definitely 2 feet. Now over our area, we're on that borderline between epic snows and just your moderate to significant snowfall. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out over the next 24 hours. Now what I did want to show you is the European model that just came in recently. And it took from yesterday afternoon's run that went well out to sea and brushed our area with some light snow, but nothing that accumulated, to this particular run that takes the low pressure much further up the coast. Here's the low pressure sitting off the Delaware coast here, and this on yesterday afternoon's run was well out here in this region. That's a huge shift northwest, and because of that, it brought the moderate to heavy snow into our region. Now I can't show you the snowfall map here because of the restrictions. However, if you take my word for it, it does give us not the amounts that the GFS and the Canadian are showing. However, it does give us a nice 8 to 10 inch snowfall. But again, the cutoff is really close to our area. According to the model, Harrisburg gets close to 10, while northern parts of our county get close to the 6 inch mark. But this is a huge shift northwest because the previous run literally gave us nothing. So that's a 10 inch shift in one run. This could possibly shift even further northwest, and that would bring the epic snows into our region. This run, the epic snows ended in central York and Lancaster counties, where up to 20 inches of snow fell on this run. So that's pretty much it for now, right? My forecast from last night, my first call, still stands. I think we're in for at least a 6 inch snowfall for most of us. Closer to the Mason-Dixon line, that's where you get your foot amounts. And then as you head into DC, Baltimore, Northern Virginia, that's where you see your 2 feet plus amounts. As I get further data into the new guidance here, I'll actually have to update that later this evening with my second call. It could still go either way. Like I said, we're right on that border between epic snows and just your moderate snowfall. It's going to be a pretty crazy situation if we do end up seeing a northern trend over the next 24 hours. Alright guys, just keep it here to Dauphin County weather. I'll keep you updated on my Facebook page. And If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I'll try to get to them as we advance here throughout the day. Hope you have a good one.